Did the reward centers in their brain fire when they killed the meat and brought it home and had everyone see them as higher status?
Yep.
What do you think is going to make you happy, dude? It's accomplishing shit. That's what's going to do it. And it's just so hard when I have these guys. And listen, nobody's a bigger fan of Eckhart Tolle than me. I love being in the present moment. I understand that. But I'm in the present moment because I just hit three-pointers in your fucking face. That's why I'm in the present moment.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't understand. You need to accomplish things. That's what you talk about being in a sales call as being like your meditation. That's exactly it. Like for me, it's the same thing when I'm on stage or when I'm playing basketball. There's a couple of things, or when I'm doing my calls, my group calls, I'm in a meditation. I go to a place. I'm not even thinking. I'm just doing.
You're
I'm
totally
just
present.
Just like
but
Maverick.
Also the key thing about the power of now and that type of stuff versus taking action is it's not one or the other. Right? You could take a bunch of action and get the result you want, whether that's in relationships, health, your business, whatever, and be miserable, right? Because of the expectation associated with that. So I think the spirituality and being in the present is really teaching you to be content with where you're at, or not fall into this.
To be accepting. It's acceptance. It's acceptance of the present moment. It's a radical acceptance.
Yeah. But that's not going to get you. You're not going to sit there and be really present, and then all of a sudden, like a hot chick's going to fall from the sky.
And that's unfortunately there was that fucking. I'm sorry, I hate to say this because I know it's going to make a lot of people mad. That parasite of a movie called The Secret that just ruined so many people, and it turned all these lazy people into entrepreneurs by believing they're going to manifest shit. The universe is not going to manifest anything for you. You are going to go make things happen. I don't show my clients The Secret. I show my clients videos of Christian Okoye and Bo Jackson. Those guys did not wait for the hole to open. They knocked the motherfucker out who was in front of them and made the hole open. That's why I love showing those videos, right? And that's the thing. And the other thing before we were talking about what didn't work, right? So my sales guys, they've gone through my program.
Right.
The other thing is there's two kind of opposing things. The one I said is the breath movement and the trauma release guys. Again, I'm not saying that's not helpful. For some people suffering from PTSD, you need that. I'm not saying don't do that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is then you wake up and your bank account's not any bigger and your dream girl's not any bigger. Yeah, there's no action at all. And then the other group is the creepy pickup guys. And the problem is, it's not just, Cole, I don't even have to say this is why this didn't work. They all know it didn't work. It was a fucking unmitigated disaster for them in their lives. Once they get to me, my sales guy is like, listen, this is what Michael did for me, and it completely changed my life. So the exact thing that you're talking about is exactly what goes on with us, man. We're just like, I did this, this, and this, and then it's like, here's 50 photos of my entire life changing, and here's the huge influencer I'm dating. And it's just like, it's very much night and day.
And the key too is it's helpful for them to understand why it didn't work. So they know it didn't work, but do they know why?
Right.
And that is an education thing. So when you talk about like, it's funny, like a lot of sales calls are framed as like, these breakthrough calls or whatever. They're supposed to be super valuable. And a lot of times that could be kind of bullshit. But here is a way you can make your sales call valuable is by educating them like, dude, I know you tried that. Here's why it didn't work. And then the people that are successful on the inside, here's what they do and why it does work. And you can explain the psychological principles behind that, which also kind of alleviates the responsibility from them, right? Or alleviates, you probably heard in sales copy, you want to tell people it's not their fault, right? So it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility.
Yeah.
And so it allows them to think, okay, there's nothing wrong with me. I was just doing the wrong thing.
It's funny you say pre-selection. That's in the top 3 things we talk about in our sales
Well,
calls.
and the thing is too, like people, I guarantee who aren't working with you, who reach out to you, they start to realize they want to believe that is the reason because they didn't have that, they didn't succeed, right? And so that's the one thing you can leverage, and then they can cling on to that. And they're like, that's why. The other thing I would say too is if your sales team is doing really good, just based on what you told me, I would wager the most important thing that they have is conviction, because they're your clients and you've changed your life. They have their personal story. They are the living proof, right? And now they're making money helping you. It's like there's so much conviction. Like, for instance, we have one of our best salespeople fundamentally is not like the most tactical, best fundamental salesperson like ever, right? But this person is amazingly good, like scary good. And it's because of their conviction, not necessarily the fundamentals. If I had to take somebody who's fundamentally sound versus somebody who has conviction, I would take conviction every single step of the way. Because if you think about somebody who has that conviction and they, like, let's say this has changed their life so much, are they going to be more or less likely to challenge the person at the end of the call? Are they more and less likely to say, hey, I kind of had these doubts too about X, Y, and Z, but here's what I found. So that is very key. Now, it's not a either or, right? It's both, right? So you want to be fundamentally sound and you want to have the conviction.
Well, the conviction would create the tonality that you were talking about before.
Exactly.
Because it's almost like method acting, right? It's like I'm not acting like a person who's angry. I'm actually angry while I'm talking to you during the scene. And that creates the tonality and it makes it more believable. I think that's the same thing with the conviction. You're exactly right. I've heard these guys on the call and like, yo, man, that thing you just said, that's not going to be a problem. I promise you that it's not going to be. He starts laughing. That's not going to be the issue that you're going to have.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's exactly right.